some good runs so far today. I feel like this is a team that most teams should be worried about.
Yeah, I think Fireflux too, but they really haven't shown us that big amount of firepower as of yet. Those team fights that we expect from Fireflux, I think playing on the edge at the moment isn't really helping them very much. There's a lot of these teams are already dead center on a central type gameplay. So I think for them heading in from the edge, already so many positions within the circle are taken up. So very, very, very frequently we are seeing Fireflux immediately get taken down. So this time around, they are hovering towards that line on the circle, which I think is a much better idea. It's still technically edge, but it's not what they were doing before, which was right on the edge of the blue instead.
Wolves, again, not the best of days so far. 1 point total. And they've just lost 3 of their players. Only Memory now left standing, and Inko, to be fair, I think this is the second time that they've taken the fight with this team and been able to win it on out. Really good result for them. Order up the top as well, spotted by Stalwart. As Nenebete cruises on through with the auto shotgun. Memory on the menu now. Needs to keep it together.
Oh my.
Will be able to do so. Nenebete shuts that one down faster than anything. 16th place, and Wolves drop down to the bottom of the tables.
I mean, Seven was saying they need to pick something up, and so was Max, in fact, and they just really haven't. I think for Wolves, that adaptation is not coming through as of yet.
Ooh. Paraboy looking to light them up here against Stalwart. Scry makes it across, and Paraboy just wants to slow things down in the smoke train there. Scry forced to reposition, forced to get up. And the nade's not quite finding it. Looking to be able to get a heal through as well. Has to reposition. Can't quite find the respite he was looking for. The rest of Stalwart fall back and do manage to get their full heals off. Action now across the way. Scry finally knocked, as Action now can be that linchpin, that forward position for them, but needs to leverage properly. Action half HP. Fireflux aren't too far away. Potential to third party in the engagement, but the nades from Action need to be on point. He's only got one, however, as King has fallen for Nova in the back. Needs to hold this line on the wall. Paraboy will spot the player crawling out, and Action shut down.
Paraboy predicted that entire rotation coming through from Stalwart. Even looks for another. Really, really on the money there was Paraboy. Not a single movement or tactic was missed from him. Keeping the rest of his boys in check there. It's over towards that western side. I think for Stalwart it's going to be incredibly difficult now for them to be able to get through. There it is, they're out 15th.
17 points so far on the day. So close in on their halfway mark for their matches that they will have played on the first day of proceedings. Buradam, they started on this eastern side near Lakawi. They've shunted a little bit further down towards Kampong, and now they're guarding out DRS, who have tried to swim all the way through from docks. And it's really not going their way. Killer flushed out. Kengzo picks up a point. Delta at the back. Rules really close to this cliff face now. I don't know if Kengzo knows about this player forwards, but might have a little bit of an inkling in a minute or two when he doesn't see any more of DRS towards the back. And you can see he's already scouting that one. Paraboy spotted. Fireflux are into this fight. I said they were close by to the engagement, and now they're starting to look to pick it up, but that's actually Geekfam to steal that one away. You can see them just a little bit further away on the top of that hill, on the back foot there. And Nova caught between Fireflux and Geekfam. It's really, really sticky here. Order falls, and now it's just Jimmy remaining with the Tommy gun.
Indeed it is. Jimmy from Nova looking for a little bit more here. Obviously, Fireflux played a little bit further towards this edge side, towards the circle itself. They found themselves in position, and that's Nova out. 4 eliminations so far found.
That is not quite the performance they were looking for, but Geek found 5 eliminations now on the game. All 4 of them alive. They can turn their attention to Fireflux. DRS are out. That's the second place team on the overall standings right now. And Alpha 7 with a chance to leapfrog. They are currently tied with DRS, and the chicken dinner is the tiebreaker between them. So now Alpha 7 can start to try and open up a little bit of a lead against them as they perform further into this game. Ketch, the forward position for Fireflux in the engagement with Geekfam, has been knocked. And Solus, in the meantime, by Yuhai, spotted out and dispatched. Solke, another casualty now in the engagement as Alpha 7 chime in.
Alpha 7 looking really good on this match to take some big numbers home for themselves. 2 eliminations so far. S2G above them. This is the difficulty, though. This is a strong team from Turkey looking to leapfrog, take over this position. Inco biding their time down towards that southern side, and it's the east edge that looks absolutely treacherous, dangerous as anything. But at 4 AM, T2K, Vampire Esports, and IHC still battling out for a position on this edge.
Schweppes cuts down Demo as he tries to leave the beach. Will not be able to go any further as he picks up the point for it. Vampire surviving with one now. Just Schweppes, but the blue zone is there. T2K not having a successful cross. Schweppes may be a position that is unknown for the rest of the teams further into the circle. See if he can get a little bit further, but T2K might be on the lookout for him. Geek Fam take a knock as they start to move in towards this next part of the circle, but Alpha 7's position is nigh on unassailable, Blank.
Yeah, this is the walls that will just slow you down. A lot of this is going to be fighting more against the compound than it is fighting against Alpha 7. That's the difficulty. Inco, though, will send themselves directly into this engagement. Carrillo, Mafioso, all looking up towards that northern side, and Inco, just a quick rotate, a quick scout, get the bearings, find out what's going on. And I think right now, though, Alpha 7 is completely preoccupied with that northern side.
They've spotted S2G, and they're taking shots out that way as well. Rig forcing S2G to move along that close side of the hill, which forces them to take the fight with Alpha 7, which allows Inco to move on through. It's all swings and roundabouts. It's all impacting one another. And Geek Fam cannot quite win out that challenge. Pombet stays alive for the home team. And top 8 for them.
Pombet looking for at least one more here. Geek, it's going to be unlikely they'll be taken down, but at least one is found there. Pombet might not have found themselves the flush, but it is something.
Oh, a nade comes on through, and 2 for Revo. A double knock over towards Inco. You said they weren't paying attention to the south. Maybe they don't need to now, because Revo's on the job. Absolutely blasts them to pieces. Taken in half now, decimated. And now it's a 1-2 Brazil table with Alpha 7 racking up the points. Finally, Alter Ego eliminated. 8th place now. 7 teams remain, 21 players. 4 players alive on both Four Angry Men and S2G.
Brinko, Nenebete Vitale. That is the last thing you want is Revo. When he looks so good, his nades are just completely spectacular. Very hard to take him off that kind of streak. I remember getting him the 4K grenade over in the group stage in that last chance that just sent them right straight through to the grand finals. Just looked phenomenal at the time. And again, Alpha 7 will not be leaving this compound. Geek Fam, S2G, T2K, Inco, 4 AM all have a very, very difficult road ahead of them, but it all ends in Alpha 7.
Geek Fam with 10 eliminations so far. Going into this game with 1 point, this is what you wanted to see. Especially on Sanhok, it is that wildcard map. Rack those performances up if you can get them. 4 Angry Men. 6 eliminations of their own. And we'll play on with 3 from the south side, near to the duo remaining from Inco, as Geek now have a building in the circle.
Just to get up there. Barivo's already sent the God Nade over towards this position before. He's had practice. He's ready to do it again. Micah wants nothing to do with it. Revo sends a couple of sprays on towards that position. 4 AM maybe he's going to take this opportunity as MWWX actually finds Vitali in the back. This is really good there for 4 AM.
Mafioso doesn't get knocked. A really important factor there for Alpha 7's hold, especially against S2G, as Silas gets spotted, but there's an AWM in play. It sees Hamzy and claps him, but unfortunately it's just not enough. There's not that many barrels on it. There's only the one, and Alpha 7 will just shut them out of the circle.
Alpha 7 not taking any chances here. They know they wanted a big game to compete with Inco, but Inco already find themselves up towards that top 6 is really still good news, and 5 eliminations found for themselves. Still going well. Alpha 7 on the other hand, 8 eliminations, 4 alive, almost certainly a chicken dinner. Getting a few more eliminations on this game would be great to send them towards that top standing.
Certainly would. At the start of the game, the gap was 18 points between Alpha 7 and Inco. 3 of those points have been closed, so they would need a whole heap more, but You got to start somewhere. A nade in from Carrillo into the inside of the building, but Yuhai already repositions towards the outside. Nenebete falls. That's the last down from Inco. 6th place, 5 elims. Again, solid result. 1st, 2nd, 5th. Excellent, excellent start to their day. What a 3 games they've had. Alpha 7 lose their first player in this situation. Carrillo does get knocked now. Revo looking to go for the res as Geek Fam move in.
Geek Fam, Yuhai and Micah. 49 elims total for Yuhai, 48 elims total for Micah. Over towards their particular group, in which case they put up a massive 292 points together with the rest of their team. This is the dream duo that you would want together for Geek Fam to try and finish this out.
With the changes that were implemented onto Sanhok circles, the damage is too great to out-heal, which is why we've only got 3 teams remaining now in Zone 8. 4 angry men under pressure. Geek Fam going down as well. Alpha 7 start to ramp up for their final shout. 3rd place with 11 eliminations for the Malaysian squad. Geek Fam are doing so well in this Sanhok game, and they definitely needed it. However, Alpha 7, the bell of the ball now. 2 players up and kicking as they flush out 1 and find another knock over towards 4 angry men. Just Svan left standing between them and the chicken dinner with 13 eliminations. They snap it on up, and it's a Brazilian back-to-back.
That seemed absolutely easy.